Oh, get ready, get ready, get ready. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. It's me. It's your boy, the Louisiana Country Boy, along with the little diva. And guess
Love
what?
it.
We got some special guests up here tonight. Look at him, look at him, look at him. Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna tell you right here. I'm gonna tell you right here. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you want some knowledge, you're about to get it. If you want some inspiration, you're about to get it. If you want to know a little something about something, guess what? Tonight, all right here on Monday, speak on it. You know what we gonna do? We gonna speak on it. So I hope you done got some old Q-tips and cleaned your ears out, because he's about to hear some things coming down the track. So get ready. Get ready, get ready. So here in a minute, y'all know I'm gonna shut my old triple trapper because I like running that thing, but I'm gonna shut you up. I'm gonna shut. Go ahead.
You are not gonna shut your triple trapper.
You so right.
That is gonna be interactive. You'll all be talking.
You so right. You so
Yes.
right. But look, what
All
I
right.
am gonna
It's
do,
the light.
I am gonna shut up because I will tell y'all first and foremost, from me,
Maybe we need to
I will say this personally.
light.
It is an honor to have the guests that are here tonight. If y'all have watched podcasts, thought about any of that stuff, man, we got some information coming for you. And guess what? Even for the nosy folks, tonight is free. The nosy folks be coming by. What they talking about? Well, it's free. Well, you can come up in here and get some. You can get some, you can learn something. And guess what? It's gonna be open, it's gonna be honest, it's gonna be transparent. But more important, it's gonna be real. You're gonna get it real, you're gonna get it raw. You're gonna get it right here. So my co-host, I thank you because this was her birth child. She just let me come on here and run my mouth. But this was her birth child. This was what she wanted. This was an idea that she came up with. And a wonderful idea.
Well, you make me sound good. I love it. You make me sound good. Keep on going. Keep on going.
She came up with this. She came up with this wonderful idea of offering this to people, and I'm so glad she did. I'm glad she let me tag along with this thing and run my mouth, because y'all know I don't know diddly from diddly, okay? I don't know. I was watching YouTube today just to find out how to make my phone work. So y'all know I don't know nothing, okay? But anyway, I am going to let my co-host do what she does best. Other than just looking party, I'm going to just let her do what she does best. So, and then, I'm going to let these wonderful guests do their thing, however they do it. And this is a free for all, y'all. So if y'all get shot in my mouth, what y'all do is like they do in church. It's holds up the fan. It's holds up the fan until
your finger.
Fire style.
That right there. I'm just happy to have y'all. I am honored to be sitting here amongst such pioneers in the industry. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. That's how I truly feel that I'm sitting here amongst pioneers, amongst the ones who's going to take this business, man, to places it has never gone before. And it is an honor. It is a privilege. It is an honor. It is a privilege. And I mean that from the bottom of my country heart. So I thank y'all.
Such a great introduction. Thank you, co-host. You know I just love you to pieces. So let's go with I just don't know what to say. But let's go with introductions. Starting under Mr. Lafayette, tell us who you are and tell us what you do.
All right. My name is Lafayette Taylor, founder and CEO of Top 10 Recording Studio, award-winning studio, One Sound by Recording Studios. and I am a visionary, entertainer, and the intern. I also own Spread the Brand Radio, syndicated radio station, and the founder of CCB Network, which is a Roku channel. I also put people together. Our motto is connect, create, and build. And also, I'll go. That's all I got. That's all I got. I'll go in deeper later.
Come on, credentials.
Yes. Love it. Okay, next the Kristens.
Listen, man, we run three podcasts, man. We run Allow Yourself Grace. That's my wife's podcast. I have my own podcast, Why Now Is Your Time. And then we have a joint podcast, which is called One Marriage, Two Hustlers. So listen, I tell people, get people in the room. I mean, just this year alone, I probably the over 50 people I interviewed, it's probably $100 million of money that they make. Just the people I interview on my podcast. So my wife is gaining momentum with her podcast. Allow Yourself Grace. She just launched it, but man, listen, we don't come to take sides, man. We come to take over. And guess what? We're not in competition. We in collaboration. Let's get it.
Get it.
That's it.
You forgot one thing. We are the owners of OM2H Creative Studios. Yes. We're on the north side of Houston, guys.
Okay.
And so we do everything from digital products to branding to consulting, podcasting, all of the above. So come see us.
Okay.
Hey. Well, can I say one more thing? I said I was gonna shut up, didn't I? I did. I can't even keep my mouth closed. Look here. The people that may roll through, and I'm opening it up. If y'all don't like it, y'all just say we don't like comfortable. The people that roll through that may have some questions or may want to ask either one of y'all something, or any of y'all that's up here something. I know they ain't gonna ask me nothing, but they might want to ask y'all something and get some information from y'all. If y'all are free to answer questions, man, y'all folks, look here, you do anything else, so just drop what you might want to know in the chat. Now, I'm going to be honest, old country boy ain't finna read none of it. I'm going to tell you right now. Now, my co-host, she might put that old thing up there on the screen. I can barely, I just found my glasses. So y'all know I ain't finna be trying to read no comments. So, but please, man, drop your comments, drop your questions. This is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to keep it real. There may be something you want to know. Okay, you don't go somewhere else, but you can get it right here. You can get it right here tonight from Houston's finest. I've been saying this for a minute. From Houston's finest. So, okay, support homegrown, and we right here at home. So if y'all want to know something, if y'all want to know where they at, y'all want to know what they do, y'all want some inside information, look, I'm going to tell you tomorrow you ain't going to get it, but you might get it tonight. So, all right, I'm sure, I'm sure I'll get it.
It's going to cost you tomorrow. Right? Okay. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us today. That was a delayed reaction. I thought, oh, wow, he just didn't answer. So we're going to kick off with telling us, I've seen some questions about on one of the groups. And so some of those questions is where it comes from because I've had the same questions. And one of them is, how do you start? You know, I know we kind of say it's like Nike, just do it. What do y'all think? If someone's ready to start today, what do they need to get started? Oh, anyway, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Take
it away.
I'll go first this time. Go ahead.
You got it. Go ahead.
Now go ahead. Y'all go ahead this time.
No, listen. I call it. You can start cheap or you can start expensive. Right? It's two different ways. So I always tell people, like, the cheap way, you probably can start podcasting for about $600. That's just to get your cameras. That's just to get your little setup. You know, that's the cheap way. But if you want to go mirrorless, where you can just have your stuff running for 24 hours, you ain't got to touch nothing, you're going to have to come on up. You know, it depends on how many cameras you want. I mean, I can just tell you, just a 3-camera setup probably going to run you anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. But that's the more expensive way. you don't need that money to get started because we started the cheap way, you know. So you can, but you gotta invest in yourself when it comes to podcasting. You know, I meet so many people say, "Well, I'm gonna just use my phone." I'm like, man, you're gonna run out of data trying to use your phone. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to do it. So I mean, you got anything you want to piggyback on?
Yeah, I mean, I say just start. You can start like on your computer, just recording audio. So it depends on what you want to do. If you want to do video, you want to do audio, two totally different things. We do both. So because we do both, it does cost a little more. Now with audio, you can probably go a cheaper route. So you could probably just use your computer if you don't want people to see you. You don't really want to be in front of the camera. You can use your computer, but you're still gonna need storage because what happens is when you're doing like 30-minute episodes, an hour-long episodes, that time and that day, that memory starts to add up and it fills up on your computer. Like I literally, my husband fusses at me all the time. He's like, you need to clean off your desktop because it accumulates, because you don't realize once you're recording and you're going, you get a lot of content. So you want to make sure you have some type of storage drive or something that you're dumping that stuff off on, or deleting it, or a place where you can house it. So I would just say, just get started, whether you start with audio and then maybe you move to both. But I recommend just figuring out which one's going to work best for you and your budget.
I'll tell you, I will definitely say truth to that, because I couldn't, for months. I think I did my last podcast at one time was February. I just got my storage. I totally ran out. It wouldn't let me do anything trying to use my iPhone. So yes, that is true. All right, Mr. Lafayette.
Okay, are we talking about starting a podcast or just starting in business?
Starting the podcast.
Starting a podcast. Well, I know, yeah, we all say just do it, but they definitely had a point. Like I said, you have to start somewhere, you know, and, you know, even if it, like I said, if it is with your phone at the moment in time, you have to do what you have to do, but make sure the settings, you learn about the settings of your phone. Learn about, like, even right now, I don't have the perfect lighting, you know what I mean, at all. You know what I mean? I know that. And, you know, but you got to learn. Like I said, for me, when it comes to anything, if you do 4 things, I'm an intern. I call myself an intern. I have 4 principles. If you do these 4 things, you do anything in life. Research, listen, learn, and apply. Do those 4 things.
Apply.
Got it. Research, listen, learn, and apply. Do those 4 things, and you start that podcast. Like I said, do your research. You know, research what podcasts is out there. What are they doing to be successful? What are they? What hashtags do you use? What keywords? You know, these got to kind of figure out 3 different aspects in your niche. You know what I mean? Just, you know, because if you don't know your niche, it's okay. Sometimes you don't know it. Resources and apply, yeah. But sometimes you have to grow into it. Am I right? You just have to grow into it. You know what I mean? It takes practice. You know, and it's something that a lot of individuals don't do. Right. And my fiance would tell you to go to Toastmasters. Have you heard of Toastmasters? Yes. They actually have a meeting today, right now, talking at this moment in time. So that's something that, you know, you need to look into. You know, business credit. Look into your own person. There's a lot of different things you got to look into trying to own, because it's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah. I was just going to ask that. Let me ask about that too while you're saying that. I don't mean to cut you off, but when you say that, some people start this off as a hobby. Some people know they want to go into a business. So when you said that, it made me think about, how do people decide? I mean, can people just, I'm trying to remember how I was going to ask my question. I had it when you said it and then it left me. When they start off, should you be thinking about it as a business? What if you want it to be something different? Like, how do you make that decision of it being a business? When I started off, I thought it was going to be this thing, but I'm not there yet. I'm gonna get there, but it's not there yet. So how do you make that decision? If you want it to be a hobby, money, or does it not matter? You need to make a podcast be business? Be business.
Well, I think people. This is. I have a lot of people. So the way I structured it was I structured it on 3 levels. So like for people who just want to learn podcasting, I created an ebook for them. All right, and made it simple. I charge them $37. They get on it. They get to get my information. I made it simple. You got other people who want to kind of be more advanced. I created a digital course. It's 5 hours and 48 minutes. I charge $297 for the course. And then you have those people that say, hey, I don't want no course. I don't want no book. I want to work with you one-on-one. I charge $2,500 a year. They can do their first 2 podcasts at my studio for free. And I show them how to run the play. People, we just had some 23-year-olds today starting a podcast. They was at our studio. One thing they don't know is what to do. They trying to get monetized through YouTube. I said, you can get monetized today. You don't have to wait on YouTube when you understand the different platforms that you can get on and start charging people today. The secret is don't give your content all the way for free.
Yeah. But to answer your question, because I've been thinking over here, on whether
I know it's a confusing question. I didn't answer.
Yeah, how do you determine if it's a hobby or a business? I would say just knowing how to start. So like Lafayette said earlier, like doing your research, making sure that you know kind of how podcasting works, what are people doing before you kind of get involved. That way you kind of know what's going on, and then you can decide whether I want to do this for fun or I really want to do this. So I think that's the part of that research phase that people need to make sure that they go through, whether it's getting an ebook, whether it's doing it on your own, getting on Google, getting on YouTube, whatever it takes, just make sure that you decide what you want to do and you do your own research.
Old country boy say this right here. I don't care how you start, I don't care when you start, but understand it's work. Yeah. I don't care if it's a hobby. I don't care if you're trying to make money. Look at here. If you ain't got the time and you ain't real about it, you gonna pay what is it? 1 marriage, 2 hustlers. You gonna pay them that $2,500, and then you ain't gonna even come back no more. You be like, you know what?
Very true.
Well, it's crazy you say that because there's people that came to my studio before, and or I've seen them years. I've been monitoring people for years in their so-called podcasts. I'm sorry, I have faith in everybody, but I just see a lot of people don't really take it as serious.
Yeah.
They're coming late for interviews or they're the ones putting the interview on. They're coming in sloppy. The client's there waiting for them to set up. They're sloppy dressed. They don't know what their topic is. They're just doing it to do it.
No topic.
It's just like there's people just doing it just to do it. I understand. Hey, more power to you. I mean, that's more money in our pockets, obviously. But me personally, I want people around me that want to make money in this business.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you don't want to make money, it's, like I said, it's okay. You can be that person that's just filling in the gaps, but come around us making money in this business, So, it's kind of hard to say when they, when they're not taking it seriously, that you already know that they know in their heart they're not taking it serious. So it's not a real business hobby. They're doing it for clout, doing it for access, doing it to look pretty, just doing it because I got followers, this no substance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing that is missing, when with that. So yeah, that's all.
So when you say substance, that's another thing. When people are, again, I'm looking at it's a group. There are people asking different questions. I am so sorry. Why do I keep losing it every time you say something? It comes to my head. Podcast versus talk show. So some people ask, what is the difference in a podcast, or is there a difference in a podcast and because normally a podcast was not virtual. You can't see. Versus a talk show to where I am on video. Is there really a difference in your opinion? Is it the same? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
No, it makes sense.
I don't think it's a difference though. The only difference that I would, if I had to just guess, I would say a talk show, you got people that's in the audience versus a podcast is just me and them or a group of us talking about a certain subject. So
that's what it is. Yeah, talk.
Okay.
So yeah.
Talking. I think the difference is too is like he said, having the audience. Because all of our episodes are pre-recorded and we edit them before we just launch them. I know some people go live, but yeah, we don't do that. We pre-record, edit, and then upload and schedule everything. And so I think that's a difference as well. It's just having those one-on-ones. You can schedule it anytime you want. I know a lot of talk shows are live as well. So
yeah, but you gotta you gotta do it. You gotta pre-record them things. Nobody got that time to be just me doing, hey.
Not for fun.
Not for fun. Not for fun.
No.
Hey, we learned though whenever people pay, they pay attention. So that's just what it is.
And to go back to what Lafayette said, it's like consistency kills critics. So you have people that are like, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And it's like, there's no follow through. And so we as business owners and studio owners, we want to believe that you want to do it, but we can spot you a mile away when you come and we had a group come in, they recorded like 2 episodes. We never seen them again.
We knew they were going to
because they wanted like 8 people on the podcast, which
regularly.
They wanted to have 8 people on a regular podcast and we
they
advised
know
them,
people to show up.
Right, it's too many people.
It's a lot.
Because you can't align everybody's schedule when you're trying to record. And so sure enough, they recorded like 2 episodes and we haven't seen them again. But just keep in mind, like if you're out there, you wanting to start a podcast, be mindful. If you have a co-host, great, but you don't want to get too many people because then that's when the consistency falls off and somebody can't make it, somebody's sick. It's crazy,
That's almost like a meeting anyway, a regular meeting.
Yes.
That's the truth. I mean, that happened, like, because me being a facility owner, seeing that with the podcast, and only one show up, or the host didn't show up, or the owner didn't show, or this person, or this thing just wasn't intact.
Right.
You got to get everyone can get their image together. And I'll break down image later, but everyone can get their image together.
Yes.
Yeah.
How important? Well, I was going to ask, how important is it to? For me, the one thing I say about any of it, and that's live podcasting, is consistency. I'm so big on being consistent. If you're going to do a show, then you're going to do the show. If you're doing it on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, dadgummit, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, be there. Because, the one thing like anything else is it's it's easier to get someone to follow you than it is to lose them and then try to get them back again. Because once they see that you ain't gonna be consistent, you ain't gonna be there, or you not serious, ain't nobody gonna, y'all business owners ain't gonna want to work with them. 2, the people that want to hear them, they gonna be like, you know what, they ain't gonna be consistent. So that's just my take. What are y'all on that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
no, go ahead, babe.
No, I just think like me, I'm real big on reaching out every week to anywhere from 30 to 50 people. I'm consistent. Because the one thing I learned about that method is that some people can't show up that week. So they'll be like, hey man, give me this day. So I usually will send them a schedule on when I'm doing my podcast. I'll send them a message and I'm gonna give you out a gym. I'll send a picture of me and them already on the podcast.
Oh, it's cute.
So they can, they be like, oh, I have people say, man, I felt obligated to show up. You know what I'm saying? So those little things help people feel like, oh, wow. This guy really took the time to take my picture off social media, put it next to him, make a flyer, drop me in it, and then send me a message. So I close a lot of people like that too.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta get out there. You know, we have spread the brand, spread the brand. I want to talk to y'all too. We on network. We got
Yes.
yeah. Affiliates, yes. But yeah, you got to get out there. Like with spread the brand, we just started our branch in LA. Spread the brand LA. You know what I mean? You got to get out there. We move around, so you go different states, different cities. You got to connect with other individuals. There's so many ways to. And if you really want to take this seriously in this game, there's so many ways to make money, from sponsorships, branding, to what's it called? Ad interjections. You know, there's all kind of stuff. But like I said, everything revolves around researching and listening to other individuals talk about this, like we're doing now, learning from what we're talking about and what you research, and then applying it.
Yes, the application of the knowledge. We need that.
If I can say one more thing, and just listening to YouTube and understanding, and I've met both of you, and here's the thing, and Lafayette, you said it earlier, when people understand that this ain't about no competition, like there's you know, you can learn from somebody else. That for me, in my mind, that craziness of not being willing to hear what another one's doing or acting like I'm in competition. And let me tell you, this is what I believe. You can't take what's mine. You can't take it. I don't care what you do. You come out there in a tutu and a cowboy hat, but you can't take it. You know, and when people understand that, it's like, okay, well now, hold on, can I glean from you? Yeah. Oh, can you glean from, when the thing is about, if we do that, then when you grow together and you both reach the destiny that's there for you, instead of wasting time competing and trying to find. Now that's just me. I'm old, but that kind of thinking is just like, man, that's crazy.
No, I agree. I think that's when you truly access your power. So when you can understand that no one can take your gift, and your gift is your gift, and you can reach the people that you can reach. We may not be able to reach the people that Lafayette can reach, right? Everybody has their people assigned to them, but we can collaborate and work together to bring an awareness to what's really going on in the podcasting world in Houston. We see it happening in Atlanta a lot. They collaborate a lot, and they're having podcast festivals. They're doing all these things. And so we definitely want to do that here in Houston, because it's like you said earlier, babe, it's not about competition, it's about collaboration. Yes. And so when you realize that and you know that, I think that's when you truly tap into your power and to everything that God has in store for you.
Yep. Well, listen, I say DNA, okay? DNA. It's simple. The D stands for you are designed, the N to notice, and the A is your assignment. When you know your assignment, there's no competition. Listen, my DNA, the people that come on my podcast loves me. It doesn't matter what nobody else doing. That's why I tell people, I lock into where I'm going. I don't worry about who podcasting, why they podcasting. The people come to me every single week. If you don't believe me, go to Why Now Is Your Time. You're going to see. They showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, and do it afraid, y'all. I literally just started, even though we had our podcast together, I literally just started my own podcast in January or February. And I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I recorded 10 episodes by myself, right? Because I was just like, I'm going to do this. But now I have people asking me to come on my podcast. Hey, when's a good day? Like, they're literally reaching out to me, and I'm reaching out to some as well. But it's just like, God will align the people that need to come. And so don't worry about that part. Just get started, niche down. That means find out what audience you're targeting. Who are you targeting? What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about? What are you passionate about? And just go for it. Just go for it.
Country boy.
Yeah.
Tell them about the wheel. Tell them what you learned about the wheel. Something like what she just said. When your will lines up with
I'm sorry. Look, Pastor Broussard, he always gets kudos. Pastor Broussard, his words, and I will catchphrase and his saying when I went to church, and I've been saying it ever since. When our will lines up with God's will, then God will. And that's just that simple. It is so simple. 1, 2, 3. I ain't got time. When we do, when it all lines up together. And here's the thing, and just on what you said about work. Hey, Candace, I'm sorry. What you said about working together, understanding. One, yes, y'all have your people. And Candace has her people, and Queen has her people, and Lafayette has his people. But guess what that means? There's still some other people out there that's missing. So when you all work together and you collab together and you come together, all of them that's missing, look what you done brought in. See, that's
the beauty of it. Yep.
Small-minded people think small. I ain't knocking nobody, but that's what I heard. Small-minded people think small. I don't know, but it's right there. I mean, that's factual. It's when you think that we can have the world. The fact is, you can have the world. Working together, coming together, man, it's there. And the thing I believe is there for the taking.
And as
All right, we need to hear from Candace. We ain't heard that. Come on, we waiting on you. Put that volume on.
Hey guys. Hey guys, it's Candace Joseph, your favorite business guru. Look, I was directing a podcast episode while listening to you guys start the show. So I put in the comments like, "Oh, I'm gonna be on in a minute." When it comes to podcasting, when it comes to anything that's showcasing your gift, the thing that you have to remember is to simply do it your way. I don't care what you want to talk about. My show is about business, but I talk about a little bit of everything. Do it your way, do it authentically, and I do it for the content. Because the thing about it is, the content is where the money is. It's not necessarily about viewers. It's not about clicks. It's all about the content. You'll be surprised how much money I've made off a podcast that started out as 300 listeners. Well, I'm gonna tell the truth. My first night on air, I had 5 listeners. Then it grew from 300. Then it grew from there. And the thing about it is, even with the podcast, people don't recognize everything you do. You got to have 7 ways to make money. So I make money 7 different ways with a podcast. So you just have to do it your way. Talk about the things that are authentic to you. And then call on those experts to be on the podcast, to be a part of it, and let them give their expertise. Because let's be real, we don't know everything. We have to be able to be open to growth and to let somebody know, hey, I'm cool with passing you the mic.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I love it.
Look here, y'all don't get quiet on me now. I told y'all I'm gonna be quiet. I got all these podcasts up here. Now I know that good. I know the podcast got something to say.
Can we talk about hashtags?
Oh yeah.
Hashtag good. I think, I try to use different hashtags on it's certain tools you can use. So let's just be honest. They got so many different tools out there, like what's that one, Buddy Tube. They got
BitIQ.
BitIQ. There's a lot of tools out here you can use. But this is the thing though.
BitIQ. Yeah.
Do you care about the hashtags, or do you care about the podcast title? Because some people using that clickbait. So you gotta understand, is it the hashtag or is it the podcast title? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta kind of see like what's trending. Once you see what's trending, and you kind of add it to your podcast when you drop it. So I mean, to me, people get stuck on like, oh, I got the 15 hashtags and this, and I'm like, man, what your title looking like? Let me see your title. Let me see if it's trending with everything else going on. So
SEO friendly.
Yes.
You don't know what SEO means? Search engine optimization.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But I would say this, and I'm the newest to all of this, and I'm the newcomer, and I really don't know anything. But what I did when I started off, honestly, I was hashtagging my worthless 2 cents. Everywhere I went, everything I put it on, it was hashtag my worthless 2 cents. Hashtag my worthless 2 cents. I hashtagged it to death. So if you go in and you hit Google and you go my worthless 2 cents, it's gonna be this right simple.
Well, of course, you definitely got to brand your hashtag. That's rule number one. Rule number one. Hashtag in that game, but it all depends on where you're going, where you're headed with it too. Always in they always say like Instagram and TikTok is all. It's kind of like the niche that you're in, the top 3. Always keep kind of posting that where you want to trend in a little bit. But there's a lot of tools and tricks and games. But like I said, everything is SEO friendly, especially TikTok. TikTok is like Google, the new Google. But you know what I mean? So if you want to learn and know anything, go to the short form first, which is TikTok. And if they have a TikTok, and they usually have a long form, which is their YouTube. So, it's that bait. So you got to have that one social media platform to utilize to bait them into real where you really need and want them to go to. But yeah.
But sound like that Lafayette said that because for me, you got to know SEO. And it's the thing, if you're new and you don't know what hashtags to use, go to the podcasts that are similar to yours. Copy their hashtags. Look at what their formula is. But I like what Donnie said as well. You start your own trend using your own hashtags. So that way people get to know you and they get to, every time they see it, they recognize the hashtags. So I really just think it's all of that. I use like 3 hashtags. That's like, the minimum I would use. 15 and 20, I'm not really into all of that. I just think that you should just start your own. At least 2 of the hashtags are my own. The other one might be business. It might be CEO. It might be entrepreneur life. It's something else that's catchy. And when it comes to clickbait, I try to be careful about that because even with the title truly is everything. But I try to make sure that even if I come up with a catchy title, that content does kind of match the title a little bit, even if it is something catchy, trendy, or cool.
No, that's real though. And I try to tell people like, because you always looking at what's trending, so you want to see what's trending, but at the same time, and then the whole beauty of podcasting is the more people you get on your show, the more people they're gonna share with their audience. Now their audience get to follow you, and then you look up and you're like, man, where these 5,000 people come from? Well, all those people I've been interviewing, some of their people started following me. And so now you looking like, okay, good. So that's really, really important. Also, my wife had a lady, she got 70,000 followers. She said, send me the whole video. She want to put the whole video on her platform and on her podcast. So, wow. I mean, those little things, it helps.
That's something Country Boy and I talk about all the time. Matter of fact, we went to an event yesterday that he was invited to. But it's someone who started, she did a sitcom. And last night was the premiere. And when we got there, we were just kind of talking about, we bring people along. Well, we sat there and we thought about it that she brought him along, then he brought me along. And it's something that it was so great when we just stood there and thought about it. That's what we have to do. That's the kind of things that helps everybody grow and helps everybody to get to the next level. But it's just standing there at one time in the camera. We just stopped and kind of thought about that, And then you have to be willing, like we talked about competition, be willing to do that. Be willing to ask to be on the shows. And on that note, are there any shows that you would say no to? Because I see that's what they're talking about a lot now, is about get on everybody's show so that you can, like what you just mentioned. Is there do you check it out first? Is there is there a show
Put
that
me
you
on.
you know?
I'm ready. I
mean, that's real. I mean,
yeah,
you can check out somebody's show, and even if it doesn't necessarily fit your format, you can find some kind of common ground within it. And then the thing about it is, look, you're in media, you know the answer. If they ask a question that you don't really agree with, you know what? Let me check some sources. Let me get back to you on that.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know what I
ma'am.
mean? Like, hey, I look at it like any podcast, any opportunity you get to go on anybody's show, if it's video, if it's audio, doesn't matter. Take the chance, shoot your shot. Because look, I went on a podcast where I talked about how we talked about. We talked about death, and I talked about how I don't sleep with the lights off. Right? It had nothing to do with business, nothing to do with what what I do. But I talked about for an hour and a half of how I'm in my 40s and I'm scared of the dark. Like, like, hey, real story, no BS, right? And but I'm just saying, like, you want to cross promote, of course. You want to get on other people's podcasts. You want to hear about their greatness, because the thing about it is, someone in their audience might be, they might like what you're talking about. So you want to spread it out. Why not?
I totally agree with that. And again, that was my platform's a little bit different. I open mine up and have opened it up from the very beginning to anyone who wanted to be a part of it, to share their stuff, to bring their self. It wasn't, for me, that's what it's always been about. That's been my foundation of what I do, is to have people come. Man, I don't care what you do. I tell my people, anybody that comes, it's not about what you're doing. I use my platform to sell yourself, sell you. Because guess what? If they can buy you, I don't care if you sell the snowballs. Okay, if you can reach the people, then whatever it is that you are selling, then they like, you know what? I'm going with them. Because now they feel like they have a connection with you. Now I ain't saying people like to come to my show, because some people be like, oh no, I ain't coming, and I be like, that's okay too, because my show's a little bit different.
Oh, I thought, okay. And same. So my show, Chat with Trina, is I start off interviewing different people, and something I always wanted when I thought about it is I wanted people to get to know the person, because sometimes when you get to know the person, it makes you want to either buy their product, participate in what they're doing. So it's a Zydeco artist, Lil Nate. There were people that some people just didn't feel Lil Nate. They thought he was arrogant or whatever. Well, I asked that tough question about, why are you arrogant? Like, people think you're arrogant. You don't want to take pictures of people. And he gave this answer that was so human, that he wouldn't take pictures at the time because he had acne real bad. And it just humanized him to where people were texting me the next day saying, oh my God, he got a new fan. They just liked him more. And I'm saying that to say that was that's what I want from our show, is to humanize people. You know what I mean? To make people get to know who you are, whether you're selling, I don't know, toilet paper. They get to know you. They like you. They may buy they're probably going to buy your toilet paper. So that's something else I think about, is humanizing people, getting people to know who they are, is what my show is pretty much about.
So let me ask, so you four wonderful people up here, what has been the most difficult task that y'all have had to face, either in the business or with customers or with clients? What has been that one thing that make you want to just
I think people not being as real as you are. So one of the things that my husband and I pride ourselves on when we're running a business is being genuine and giving people the type of service that we would like to receive if we went to a business. And so when you get people who are not authentic, they're trying to plot, they're trying to scheme, they're trying to do all these things, they're being a little shady. It can be hurtful, because a lot of times, we're still human. We lead with our hearts. And so we have grace with people, and we, try to really work with them, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And so I think in business, that can be the hardest part, is just being upfront with people, and having to be stern with people, because people don't like when you call them out. They don't want to take accountability for anything. They want to play the blame game, those type of things. So when you're dealing with those types of issues, especially when you're not that type of person to even be confrontational, it can be difficult. So if you're going into business, you got to have some tough skin, because it can be like, oh, I need you to meet me outside type. You know what I'm saying? So just be very mindful of that when you're in business.
Well, I say this, okay? I'm quick to fire a client. You don't have to be my client at all.
Right.
If I feel like you're someone who I just, the personalities are going to clash, I'm okay with saying, hey, I have another professional that you can work with. And even during a project, if I'm working with somebody and I don't like the interaction or the engagement, I'm cool with firing myself from your project and giving you back your money.
I love it.
Love
I'm
that.
okay with that.
Love it.
It's either that or, listen, or I'm going to double invoice you. It's okay. I mean, you can pay for the aggravation if that's what we're going to do. But I treat people with all respect, and I want to be treated the same. So to me, all money, not good money. If you can't treat me with respect, I don't want you as a client at all.
Right.
And if you don't give to community or serve your community in some kind of capacity, volunteer, write a check, something, then I don't want you as a client anyway. So it's cool that you go down the road, I mean, look, I invoice for dates, so I don't care nothing about canceling a client. Hey, listen, time is money. So if you want to go out on a date with me, if you want to go out on a date with me Monday through Friday, that's a billable hour to a client. So I got to bill you like you a client. We're going to spend the money on the date, though, but I'm going to bill you like a client.
And the thing is, I think you should stick to your prices. You guys should really stick to your prices, though. A lot of times, people don't stick to their prices. So
Alan, take a picture of us.
People don't stick to their prices a lot of times. So like, whatever your price is, go roll with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't be afraid to charge people. People be so afraid to say, hey, my price is this. I'm like, no, here's my price, here's my structure, and I'm good with it. If you don't want to pay the price, you don't want to pay the play. So find somebody that you can go to and go to the cheaper price.
Yeah.
Because I make sure it's worth my time.
Yeah.
Lafayette, you done got quiet over there. Let's hear from you.
No, I mean, everybody hit it on the nail. Definitely stick to your prices. Be professional about if you need to step away from the project or step away from a client. Because there's always a lot of difficult individuals out there. But at the end of the day, I can't fault them if they don't know how to handle business.
Yeah.
All I can do for me, I can show you, I can tell you, I can suggest this to you. But if you don't want to take it, that's on you. It is what it is. But I don't let it affect me. People that are BSers or just users. I mean, I see all that. We see, visionaries see all that. We see all through all that. You could be around me all you want to. I know what you're trying to do. Like, at the end of the day, once you get going back to the floor, we're not in competition.
Right.
You can't do what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So I don't care. Even if I did give you all the sauce, you're still not going to do it the way I do it.
Facts.
That's a lesson for all of us.
No, but that's the 90. I call it the 90-10 rule. It's the 90-10 rule. I can give you 100% of the information. Only the 10% gonna take action, but only 3% gonna execute. I'm telling you, I promise you this. Only 3% gonna execute. I can tell you exactly what I do, but only 3% of the people is gonna execute it. Yep. Everybody else not gonna make it happen.
Yeah, I agree with that. The one thing I'll say this is that people want to go from 0 to 1 million in a day. They don't want to put in the work. You think that you're gonna come here. You think that I'm gonna go to one of y'all and y'all gonna put me on, and you know what? And then after that, then I'm gonna be a millionaire, billionaire. Look at him.
They listening to the hype.
One of my questions I always ask people, I said, let me ask you a question. If I gave you $1 million to eat an elephant in 24 hours, would you try? Most people say, yeah, I'm going to try. Your body can't digest the elephant in 24 hours. So why would you even waste your time trying to even eat the elephant?
Right.
So that's the same mentality when it comes to business. What I know, I've been editing videos for 25 years. So what I know about video, man, you have no idea, because I didn't see all types of videos. So that's the whole thing that we always talk about.
Contracts. So do any of you use contracts for anything? Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring it up because I had some issues with contracts last week. So okay, there you go. There you go.
Everything. I don't care, even if I'm doing the service for free, everybody gets a contract. It doesn't matter if it's a one-time job, if it's a monthly job, or if it's project by project basis. I don't care if I
voice.
Yeah.
You don't know what this costed.
Everybody get a contract every time, no excuses, none.
Period.
Look, I just told y'all I invoice for dates. You think I
don't? It's just business.
I'm just saying. Just being honest.
Yep.
I haven't had anybody tell me no yet. They all signed a contract.
It can be a tough and a very expensive lesson not to have one.
Yes.
Hey man, we taking every L as a lesson, not a loss. That's the mindset. So we make sure that we have everything locked in. I set up system and processes. So I make sure that people know the whole system and process when I work with them, what I'm doing for them. So it's no BS. There's no shooting from the hip. It's like
all in the contract.
This is what we're doing. Mm-hmm. This is how long it takes. And this is what we're gonna do. This is what you're paying for. Because my price.
What about them? I'm sorry. What about them pushing back on some of the items in your contract?
And that's okay. So like what Candace said is it's okay to turn down clients. Like we've turned down clients. Like we may not be the best fit for you. We can refer you to whoever. So that's a good way of dealing with it. Like she mentioned earlier, is just, hey, maybe this, maybe we're not a good fit for you. These are our standards. This is what we go by. If you want to work with us, we have to stick to this contract. And so,
love that.
Just make it a non-negotiable and just be stern and stand on whatever it is that you have in place. Stand on it, stick to it. And like we talked about earlier, your customers are going to come, but maybe that wasn't your customer.
Right.
And be prepared to walk away, or they let them walk away.
Yes.
And I would say this is what y'all are saying. In my mind, as a consumer, it would cause me to respect you because you stood on what I stand for. It wasn't wavering. This is who we are. This is what I do. This is what we charge. Here it is. And you stand on that because you don't have those people. Because you know how people are. Oh, well, you cut me a deal this time.
Yeah.
You did this. They gonna do it. Lord knows they gonna come back around. Well, you remember last time? Or you remember what you did for JoJo?
Come back when you're ready. You can come when you're ready.
And that's
and it's unfortunate, but that's how it really is that even in my funness, I know that there's some things that you gotta go like bam, okay. I can laugh about it, but we still gonna be like this. Okay, it's still gonna be like this. I can be laughing and giggling and turning cartwheels, but it's still right here. And when you stand on that, that is so important in business because You know if they go anywhere else, what they gonna do? Stand on it. They ain't gonna question it. They ain't gonna be like, oh, look up.
Mm-hmm.
Stand on it.
Lafayette, you were gonna say something to that?
Man, I forgot. Old country boy over there, like running his mouth. Like he ain't got no dang sense.
Running his tripper trapper.
Maybe I gave him some cornbread. He was
You better have some babies with him next time.
I would say though, it's we believe in, like, we call it the 3 S's though. We really lock in on the 3 S's. And no matter what you do, whether it's business, whether it's podcasting, the first thing is you want to start it. All right. You want an ignition. You want to get this thing rolling. All right. The second thing is you want to make sure that you always have some kind of structure. That means your foundation need to be good. You know, so many times people's foundation ain't good. All right. And then you want to create a system. All right. We real big on hands off business. You know, I like to send links. So what I learned over the years is stop talking to people and start invoicing them. You'll see how serious they is. Again, stop talking to them and start invoicing them. All right. And so that's where we create the system. And the last thing is now we can scale it. We can scale it to the next level. So when you understand those 4 S's, your business, your mindset, everything, know like your foundation good, your system right, your structure set up, you already rolling. And my wife said earlier, consistency kills critics. So when they keep talking about, man, y'all posting, how y'all running 3 podcasts? Man, we posting every day, either real podcast. We on the mission. And so, and it's I enjoy it. You know, I enjoy helping people, man. You know, and I think that's, once you enjoy what you do, to me, it's not work. You know, I mean, but you got to embrace the rejections. Like today, I literally on Instagram and on my text message, I literally sent out 50 messages to people. Say, hey man, you coming on the podcast this week? Here's my schedule. Book your spot so I can close it off for the next person. So I'm constantly, because some people, I can't make it to next week. Oh, give me to this day in July. So I'm constantly always filling in my pipeline with people, and I promise you, they show up and they feel. A lot of people tell me all the time, like, man, you put me on that flyer, I feel guilty. I'm man, I had to show up, and so that's something that I do to get people on my podcast. So,
yeah. But what about the opposite? Has anyone had people, and what did you do when they don't show?
We haven't had any no-shows.
I had no shows.
Most of them cancel, but I mean, I will sit there and do an episode by myself, boo, because the camera's up and the lights is ready.
Let's work.
And it's time to go to work.
It's time to go
so
to work.
I just gotta make it do what it do.
So then you just fill in the spot. Listen, Cowboy said earlier. He said, listen. He said, if you gonna do it on Wednesdays and Fridays, do it. So with or without a guest, you will see me by myself. I'm like, hey man, listen, we talking about 8 steps on being a better you. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it for 45 minutes to an hour. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna fill in that spot whether they show up or not, because it's my mission and my plan to do 100 to 150 podcasts this year. So that's my mission.
And the consistency.
I'm not gonna let nobody stop me from getting there.
Yeah, and like this morning, so we run 3 podcasts. So we have One Marriage, 2 Hustlers that we record for. He records for his, I record for mine. But this morning, over the weekend, we're like, we got to record for One Marriage, 2 Hustlers. So we batch record. And so we recorded 3 episodes back to back. But are they all going to come out at the same time? No. So are they going to know when we recorded them? No, because I changed my shirt, maybe flip my hair a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do. So don't think about it being so time consuming. You just have to plan it, because you can batch record. Like, you got to stick it out. You just got to stick it out and just make it work, man. If it's something you really want to do, you'll make time for it.
What you were saying, Lafayette?
Like I said, well, I was really going to say back to what you said. Mindset. It goes back to your mindset. You can't do none of this we talk about. Skip everything we said. Your mindset got to be there. Right. You want to do anything. You train your mind. You know, you got to train your mindset. Listen to some audiobooks. Listen to some podcasts. Like I said, once again, that's that listening part of it. You know what I mean? Put the music down. Put the music down and really learn something.
Right.
You know, but yeah, that's I can't express it enough. But definitely, I was something else I was gonna say too, but I can't remember what I was gonna say. But I can skip me back.
Candace, have you been ghosted? Candace, have you been ghosted before?
I say have fun with it, okay? Have fun. You know, have fun in everything that you do, and just do it with consistency, do it with pride, and just enjoy the journey. That's it. That's all I got. Enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey.
I totally agree. Well, you know, and I want to, if well, you know, it ain't my show, it's my co-host show. But co-host, I was gonna ask them each one. Well, I'm gonna act like I'm the host, okay? I want to ask all the people up on the panel if they would do one thing for the Old Country Boy. If y'all had, and you do have, the opportunity to drop your own personal nugget. Your own personal nugget. If you could drop your own personal nugget tonight, can you give it to us? All for y'all, because Old Country Boy ain't got man, but y'all go on, give me a nugget.
You was reading my mind, Country Boy, because that was the last question. See? We in sync.
Hey, mine.
Well, I'll start though. Listen, I tell people this all the time, man. Being unrealistic is the closest thing to poverty. So let's talk about it real quick. You got to have a vision board and you got to have a vision environment. Those two things got to tie in together. Too many times people only have a vision board. They don't think about the vision environment. The vision environment is what's going to push the vision board to happen. All right. And so when I say being unrealistic is the closest thing to poverty, what I'm telling you is you're writing a vision board on something that's not attainable because you haven't even started with your journey. So make sure that you wrapping your mind around having that vision environment and that vision board, and you tie them in together, you're going to get all the success you're looking for.
Wow.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
I got to follow that?
Yes.
I
taught you well.
I would say with that, so with the vision environment and your vision board, you need to have grace, allow yourself grace, and hustle, right? You need to have grace and hustle because sometimes we're so hard on ourselves about things and we overthink everything. And so we have to get out of here. So once we get out of here and get into action mode, then everything else will fall into place. There's no need to worry and, overthink so much. Just the most important part is what everybody said is just getting started and just making sure that you're consistent with whatever you're doing. But you got to have some hustle. If it's not in you, it's not in you. And so if you want to be in the bed, chilling, watching TV, like Lafayette said, make sure you're reading some books. Make sure you're doing the things that you need to do to make yourself better. The people on TV are already rich, guys. They're already rich. So you can go ahead and let them. We need you to create your own content, right? So take that time that you usually use watching an hour or two of TV and just get to it, get hustling, get on it. And so that's what I want to leave you with. Make sure you have a little grace and hustle to go with that vision and that vision environment.
All right. Y'all ready for that image y'all said y'all about earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. This is from that research I'm gonna read from my research, from my notes. I took my takeaways. Your image, break it down. The I stands for innovation, remake nation, to be all about making this day better than yesterday. Visionary, innovation mindset, slow and steady improvements add up over time. A smart move every day is called a multiple effect, like compound interest. The more successful, the more hungry you get. M for mastery. Be so good that people can't ignore you. You want people to love you, not like you. Leaders get the job done no matter what. Nothing less, nothing more. Raise your own expectations because that's less competition. FMOB, someone who is devoted to be the first, the most, the only, and the best. BIW, best in the world. What would the person that's best in the world be doing right now? Your beliefs determine your destination. Become more connected when you're at your best. Successful people have successful thinking patterns. The making of an expert is 10,000 hours. Excuses get you procrastination, which equals fear. When you have a red hot idea, you need to take red hot action. The courage of the start. Success is a numbers game. The daily 5 goals closer to your goal every day. That's 150 goals 1 month. That's 2,000 goals a year. A, for authenticity. Leadership is about closing your eyes to others. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter and those who matter don't mind. Dr. Seuss. Be true to yourself and your talents. Be in alignment, open and real and brilliant. Don't lose yourself all the way to the top. And be yourself, because everyone else is taken. Let go of your ego. And define success on what you give and not what you get. And G for guts. Unrealistic expectation. Visionary. Mindset of failure not being an option. You will face great resistance. People around you discourage you. Those are your loudest critics. They will think it's abnormal, but that's just coping mechanisms of individuals afraid to grow. Defense reactions scared people use to protect themselves from change. Become a visionary. Real leaders is attracting and condensation of critics. Jealousy is a tribute to mediocrity, pays to genius. And you will experience self-doubt, everybody. Yeah, you will. Remember that. And then the E, last thing that we all need to stand for, ethics. Doing good business. How well you make your sheets determines how you sleep.
Love that.
Consistent with your values, your integrity, honesty, be humble, character, courageous. And then, like they said, make sure your video is in sync with your audio. That's your image.
Come on, Notes.
Man, I ain't know we was jumping acronyms.
No.
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Come on, Notes.
Look,
I believe he just beat you out.
Right, he choking.
Hey, Mr. Taylor, like they said in the country, wow. Now say it backwards.
But let me tell you this. Y'all wanna learn more about that book? That book is the audio book that I listened to. It's called The Leader Who Had No Title.
I know some leaders need to see that. Read that. I said that out loud.
Oh, not the shade, Trina.
Hey, Candace, it's up on you now.
Only thing I can say is this: do it with pride, do it with fun, do it with knowledge, do it your way. It's your shit. Can't nobody tell you it's wrong. Yes. Do it your way. Have fun with it, regardless of what you do. And just because you say you want a business, don't mean you need to be the person that run the business. But have fun anyway.
Woo, yes.
Clap it up, man. Clap it up.
So, I'm sorry, were you gonna say something?
Oh, last thing I gotta give. It's 2 acronyms. I gotta give these away. I gotta give them away. Number 1 is hope. Help other people excel. Once you help enough people get what they want out of life, you're gonna get what you want out of life. The second thing is don't be in denial. Denial stands for don't even notice I am lying. Don't lie to yourself about your own dreams, your goals, your ambition. Go get it. Stop making excuses and find reasons why you want to be great. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Yes.
Matter of fact, we're gonna do a live podcast show at my facility with us. We're gonna bring it back.
Let's go.
Let's run it back.
Let's run it back.
Hey, can I come?
Yeah.
You moderated.
I'll come. Well, look, now, Queen, what's yours? Yeah, don't be up. Yeah, you 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4.
I'm gonna pass on that. But what I'm gonna do before I pass it on to Country Boy. Country Boy, did you want to add something to that?
No,
I'm gonna let you close out as you always do. So let me just say my goodbyes because I know you got your whole exit that you do. So we're gonna let you do your thing. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I do think it's important to come on and say some of these things because we do have people that are podcasting, having talk shows and chat shows, and they really don't know. They don't know that there are other things that they need to think about. So something like this is what I want to do every so often, called Meet the Experts or Hear from the Experts. I want to do this, like probably once a month with different people coming on because I think it's important that people want to do these podcasts, but they have no idea of where to turn. Even though things are out there, people don't look for it, but you know what I mean. Excuse me. So I want to thank you for all the gems, all those acronyms I love. And just the last thing I want to say is I want to be on everybody's show. Just
let's do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm going to pass it on to Country Boy. We really appreciate you guys doing this for us. We really appreciate it.
As I get ready to shut this thing down, I truly, from my heart, want to say thank you. I am so honored. I really am. It is an honor to sit here and to look at this screen filled with, again, these visionaries, the ones that's going to take this to the next, and the next level. I thank y'all so very much. I really do. I admire each and every one of you for everything that you're doing, that you will do, for being the pioneers, for being the visionaries that you are. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for openly, honestly, and transparently sharing it. The real. Some of the real, some folks didn't even want to hear. I had plugged my ears because y'all was talking about me for a couple times, but that was okay.
I heard it.
I ain't listening. But no, I take it all in all honesty, because you didn't have to come. Y'all have billions of things you could be doing. But you took this time out, and I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart. I say thank you. And to all of y'all, your nosy folks that came by, but didn't act like you wanted to leave no message. I know y'all was there. I know you was listening. And I'm sorry, y'all. Now, this is how the Country Boy talk for real. I know them nosy folks was running across the screen. Ooh, who he got on there? Who they got on there? And I know y'all was stopping and listening. Y'all could have said, hey, but it didn't. That's your business. I don't care, because we're going to be back here next week again. Gonna do the same thing. That's what it is. Ain't going to stop. Ain't going to stop, won't stop, won't stop, can't stop. But I will tell you this from my heart to each and every one of you. If the good Lord has given you a vision, if he's planted something inside of you, something that you're supposed to do, then you know what? Don't worry about the folks that tell you you can't. Don't worry about the folks that tell you you're too this, you're too that. Oh, you don't sound good enough. Oh, you don't look good enough. Oh, you ain't tall enough. You ain't short enough. You ain't big enough. You ain't small enough. Don't worry about them. If he's giving you the vision, trust me. Trust this old boy right here. If he's giving you the vision, trust me, he has made the provision for it. So you just keep on going. Don't quit. Don't quit, and don't give up. And lastly, but not leastly, if you woke up this morning and you popped open your eyes and you looked around and you looked next to you, but you didn't hear, and then you was out today, and we was in Houston. I'm in Houston. It was about 792 degrees. So if you was out in the heat today sweating, and you wiped the sweat off, and you looked around and you still didn't hear, well, here it is about 9:22. Well, listen here, you're finna hear it right now. If you ain't heard it, you're gonna hear it right now. From the bottom of my heart, I will tell you this. I love you. And I love you unconditionally. And there ain't nothing. There's absolutely positively nothing that you can do about it. I greatly appreciate y'all who tuned in.
1 minute.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, I had to interrupt. There are some birthdays in the house.
Okay. Oh, Minyana. Ask them Minyana. Wait a minute, how you say ask them Minyana? Is that how you say ask them Minyana? Tomorrow somebody's birthday? Somebody got a birthday?
And then Sunday,
Who got a birthday?
Country Boy's birthday, Candace's birthday this week.
Hey,
Happy
birthday, y'all.
birthday.
Hey, this is Cancer Takeover.
on her birthday.
Huh?
I was going to wait till on her birthday to say her birthday. You know?
Oh,
Happy birthday.
Yep, my birthday's
happy birthday.
tomorrow. And, yep, mine's tomorrow. And Country Boys is Sunday. Yeah.
I just want to tell both of y'all happy birthday while I have y'all here publicly. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you,
Country
thank
Boys
you, thank
Sunday.
you. Candace gonna set that thing off tomorrow.
All right, guys.
Hey, thank y'all so very much. I really appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank y'all again. Good night.
Night.
Good night, good night, good night.
Good night, guys. Good night from the